Hey, good day. Today we're going to continuing our discussion on poster presentation. Unfortunately, I haven't have any examples of poster. Usually, when I'm explaining about poster presentation, I often went to the uh, campus and show to you or showing to show the students about the examples, okay, of poster presentation that we usually have, whether it's on for annual meeting or seminar or some kind of advertisement or promotion about the lab or institution itself. Because poster is not only a medium for students or for researchers to show about their progress on their research, but also as a medium for promoting something, to advertise something, to sell or uh, to sell and also to promote products that one institution have, for example. And it is common for them to have that specific merchandise or a specific product that is presenting in a certain occasion. Poster, as I mentioned earlier, well, in Tuesday, I guess I'm talking about poster as a medium for research publication or a research description or a research exposition in a certain seminar. However, in a common case, in more general case, poster can also use as a medium of selling and promotion, selling and promotion of a certain product, obviously, or promoting some institution or promoting some studies or foreign graduate studies, for example. They have relevant information given there in the poster from the tuition, from the length of study, from the curriculum, etc., and so on, so that the prospective students who are going to apply for graduate study knew about the, well, at least the minimum knowledge or the minimum information about that relevant graduate studies. And so for our assignment, I have uploaded the information about the poster presentation assignment that is given in the LMS of Scientific Communication week 12. And I'm going to show you as the lecturer's point of view. For week 12, I have right here the guidelines for your poster presentation. So here in our class, poster presentation is the last assignment for the semester. So it's basically your final assignment for this class, as I mentioned before in the last lecture, right? This one, okay, and it represents 20% of your final mark, and then the activities itself is no longer an individual assignment, but it becomes a group assignment. Okay, so what you're going to do, okay, you're going to select one topic that will be done by maximum of 4 students. Okay, so in Scientific Communication KO3, poster presentation is the last assignment for the semester, and then in a group of 4 students. Okay, then in a group of 4 students maximum. Okay, so maximum number of students who is going to working on a selected topic is 4 students, because usually when we have a, well, here I'm showing you an example of a individual name, okay, individual author for the poster, but sometimes the work on the poster itself is basically a group or a collaborative works that involves more than 2 or 3 people, okay, because usually the collaborative research is basically a interdisciplinary or inter campus activities. So sometimes the author itself, the list of authors itself is not only coming from one university, but can also comes from several universities. And so this one is the, so the one that I'm showing you here in your screen right now, the poster example from Shazin, Shazin Atari. It is a typical poster that is created by a student, not necessarily a undergrad student, but usually one graduate students or a doctorate students need to show their result or their progress within a year of their research, so that the fund giver or the person or the institution that gave her the scholarship will knew about the progress of his study, okay, of his or her study. So Shazin here is a single name in this particular poster, and is basically showing her progress on her study on the impact of fluorophore on red fluorescent emission. So it's basically related to the physics and biological science. So it's interdisciplinary, but since this is created by a students, not necessarily a graduate students, then the author is become a single author. But let me see an example here. Okay, this one is coming out from University of, it's not that clear. University of Strathclyde, I guess some university in the UK or in New Zealand. I'm not that familiar with the name. However, this is an example of a poster that was written or that is created by several authors. This one is written by 5 authors. So it's pretty common for some. So it's pretty common for a poster presentation that is written or worked by several authors, not necessarily a single authors. If you are a graduate student, if you are a doctorate student, then usually you will present some kind of a progress or recent activities on your study in certain occasion. Usually the occasion itself is related to your fund giver or to the association of your major, etc., and so on. So so you could have a single author, or you can present a poster by yourself, or if it's a collaborative study, then you could also being a representative for the rest of the authors, basically. So it's pretty common. Well, this is the bad example of a poster presentation, but it is happens, okay, even in a reputable association or a reputable scientific meeting, international scientific meeting, there are some there are some, or a group of researchers who are not planning or who are not designing the poster as those required by the committee, for example. So usually the committee will ask you to make some kind of a design according to their templates, and the template itself usually will consist of sections, okay, left sections, middle section, and right sections, and depending on the committee, depending on how the committee is created, the template itself, usually the focus point of your poster will be centered, will be designed in a centered orientation, where it's showing the audience about the figures and graphs that are related to the studies itself, whereas the introduction, method, result, etc., and so on, or the paragraph or the text for explaining the poster is located at the left and also at the right part of the poster. And this slide design, or this draft, or this slide templates or orientation, excuse me, they made it so that the committee made it so that in the report they can show that there's some kind of a uniformity and rule and order about the presentation, or the poster presentation that each author has. And usually, since one annual meeting of a certain organization, they usually have sponsors and beneficiaries, and also people or institutions who gave them money so that they can help the annual meeting. So there are some requirements. There are some kind of must have for a certain participant, to include also the logo of the institution who gave them money, or the institution who gave them the place for the activity, etc., and so on. So the one that you are looking here is a pretty plain poster without any logo for the institution, nor the logo for the annual meeting. On the other hand, okay, this one is an example of a bad design poster, because it's basically a printed version of their oral presentation. So this is also occurred in one of the major international exhibition or major international annual meeting, especially for those countries who haven't got the chance of printing the poster from their country, or well, in the past, I've seen that people who are coming from a small university from Eastern Europe, for example, they usually do this because probably they don't have time to print the poster in their home country, and probably also the budget for them to go abroad and to book the ticket, book the annual meeting fee, etc., and so on, is so expensive, so that they don't have funds or money to basically to print the poster. So what they do, or what they did, is they just print in color their oral presentation, and they just paste it in the exhibition board, basically. So this is also as far as the content, okay, as far as the content of the poster, which need to include the introduction, the method, the data analysis, and also conclusion, Well, it's basically okay. It's basically already fulfill the requirement of a poster. But in terms of visuals, in terms of the catchability of this poster for the audience, I guess it will not attract any audience, even though the topic itself probably is a groundbreaking topic. But since the design itself is not that good, I mean, it's just a printing of their oral presentation, basically. So don't do this. Because I guess in ITB, even though some, well, I guess if I'm taking an example from our own exhibition in APS or ICMNS or SKF, the amount of money well, basically the committee will not give you any money to print the poster, but if you're going to print a poster, for example, in Jalan Gelap Nyawang, for example, we often have posters printed there. Or if you're going to print the poster in the Penerbit ITB, for example, or even in the printing in a private printing company in Jalan Dipati Ukur or in Balubur, for example, it will just cost you about, well, the most expensive, I guess it was, well, it also depending on the size of the poster itself, because usually it was I guess it was printed in a A0 or A1 paper, so it's basically a big chunk of sheet of paper. And also depends on whether your A1 or A0 paper is in glossy or it's on a normal paper. Okay, so even so, the price itself will not exceed 200,000 rupiah, if I'm not mistaken. I was a committee during the 2017 meeting. I forgot which meeting it was, but to print a poster, it will not cost you that much nowadays. So if you are planning to do some kind of a poster presentation, please be aware that you need also to understand about the sizes of the paper that presenter usually have for their poster, because there are A1 size poster and then A0 size poster, and you must communicate always with the committee and asking them about what is the exact requirement for you to have a poster presentation, because sometimes they kind of forgot to mention about the size, because they focusing more on the templates. But in most of annual meetings or seminar, the committee will tell you about the size of the paper that you need to have for your poster, because they will request or they will rent some kind of a board, exhibition board or exhibition panels for their poster presentation, and they organize. They basically already think of and organize about the time and also the venue of having a poster presentation. If the poster presentation is printed in the A0 size, they must have a panel or an exhibition board that also fit to that size of paper, basically. Okay, so I was talking about the topics, the relevant topics for your poster presentation. Okay, so poster presentation will be held at the final exam day for FI4005 Scientific Communication in December 2021. Please be updated with the schedule given by the study program. Okay, about the finals day for the final exam day for scientific communication, because they usually allocate time for final exam for scientific communication, even though we don't have any written test. But the date itself usually used for students to basically submit all of their activities requirement for this class. And then on the presentation day, each group will submit two things. First one is the poster file. Okay, you need to submit the poster file and then the presentation link given as a YouTube video. Okay, so you need to post a PDF poster file and the presentation and the video presentation from a linked YouTube video. Okay, so if you're not planning to upload your video presentation to YouTube, you can use other platform, or you can. But if you are thinking about to send the video file, please be aware that the Google Drive of our class is limited, so don't send us a big size video file, obviously, into the Google Drive. Okay, so here, in order to choose topics, student must go to the following folder. Okay, if you click this link, you will go to the, let me see. Oh, sorry. There you go. Okay, if you're clicking on this link, you are basically going to the following Google Drive folder, which already present 8 titles. Okay, 8 paper titles that you could choose as your poster presentation topic. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, there are 6 paper they can select, and the requirement for this. Okay, the requirement for this. Let me open this one also, because in the EduNext it is also written here. Student must register their name and ID number according to their selected topic to form a group. Okay, because remember, this poster presentation is a group assignment. Okay, it's a group assignment that you will need to register yourself into the topics that you want to cover for your poster presentation. So here, if you're clicking this one, or if you're clicking the link given in the EduNext, you will see this spreadsheet, Google spreadsheet file that lists the titles. Okay, list the titles of your proposed topic for poster presentation, and the list of numbers that is basically listing the names. Okay, listing the names for the poster presentation. So here, here I have put the direction to fill in this spreadsheet. First is that students of Scientific Communication class KO3 must choose one topic for poster presentation, and each title must be developed by maximum 4 students and minimum 2 students. Okay, so maximum is 4 students, but minimum is 2 students. You cannot a single author for this poster assignment is prohibited. Okay, the topic chosen by only single student will not be allowed, he or she must find another topic to working on. Okay, so it's basically you need to have, so since since our class consists of 24 students, normally, okay, normally, since we have 4 students allocated for each title, the poster should be around 6 titles, okay, 6 titles to present because we have 24 students in our class, and then since we have 4 people allocated for each title, it means that we're going to have normally 6 title that's going to be chosen for the poster presentation, because one title will be worked by 4 people or 4 students. However, you may also create a group of 3 or a group of 2 if the title itself is not that convenient for you to explore, for example. So here I have select for you students of Scientific Communication Class 3, Semester 1, 2021-2022. Titles that range from Earth physics to medical physics. So first title that you can choose is the fast detection. So most of them, most of these selected papers that I gathered here for your poster presentation assignment is coming out from Nature. Okay, a well-known or very high reputable publication in scientific writings in science, basically. The first one is coming out from Nature Biomedical Engineering, that was published in 2020. So it's pretty recent, okay? Pretty recent, in December 2020, talking about the fast detection of SARS-CoV-2 RNA via the integration of plasmonic thermocycling and fluorescence detection in a portable device. So this is the first title that I choose for you to think about whether you want to take this title or not. And the original authors for this title is coming out from, let me see the affiliation. Well, most of them are Korean, I guess. Yeah, these are Korean names. It's coming out from the Institute of Basic Science from Korea, and then the Yonsei University, and then from Massachusetts General Hospital Research Institute in Boston, Massachusetts, and then the Harvard Medical Schools, and then in Yonsei University again, but from different laboratory. This one is coming out from Department of Chemistry, and then the Department of Laboratory Medicine from Chonnam National University Medical School, okay. And then the topic itself, even though it's more related to the medical, to the chemistry and the biology of the virus itself, but it also related to the detection of the virus's RNA using some mechanism mentioned here. So it's basically related to the medical physics or biophysics topic. So for those of you who are interested in this topic, you can choose this one. Okay, this is one title. The second title is chosen from Nature Geoscience, which titled "The Widespread Subsidence and Carbon Emissions Across Southeast Asia Peatlands," related to the increasing emission of carbon and the subsidence that also occur alongside with it. So this is coming out from bioscience. The data itself is coming out from Sumatra, but the author, I guess here, the author is coming out from Massachusetts Institute of Technology, from Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering, and then Department of Earth Sciences, University of Oregon, and then the Singapore MIT Alliance for Research and Technology, Singapore. Okay, so here is one title from a Earth Physics subdivision. And also for those of you who are coming out from other research division, if you find that this title is interesting for you to select, then it is okay for you to take this title for your poster, because you are collaborating with other fellow students. So so please don't hesitate to discuss and also to make some kind of a work division or a workflow for you, in order for every student have same contribution for the poster. Okay. Okay. The third title that you can select is the Earth's core as a reservoir of water. This one is coming out from Nature Geoscience, that was published in 2020, I guess. Let me see. Yeah, it was published in June 2020, so it's pretty recent. And the original authors coming out from University College of London and the College of Earth and Planetary Sciences, University of Chinese Academy of Sciences, Beijing. And the last one is Center for Earth Evolution and Dynamics from University of Oslo. Okay. Okay, the fourth title is The Weak Magnetic Field Changes Over the Pacific Due to the High Conductance in Lowermost Mantle. So this is basically related to the Earth's magnetic field that's changing to some mechanism over here. This is also coming out from Nature Geoscience, published in 2020, written by Dunbury and Moore from Department of Physics, University of Alberta, Canada. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth title is a seismic or a seismology related topics. The author for this paper is basically plenty, okay, because it's a collaborative study from London and then from Southampton, and then let me see. Let me increase the size. Okay, the backpropagating super shear rupture in the 2016 magnitude 7.1 Romanche transform fault earthquake. The list of authors here is coming out from different nationalities. One is coming out, I guess the institution here. Okay, there are 11 different institutions that this author is coming from. First one is the Imperial College of London, and then the second one is from Southampton, from University of Tsukuba, and then University of Leeds, and then Christian Albert Universitat Kiel, and then the here is Federal Institute for Geoscience and Natural Resources of Hanover, Germany, and then Department of Earth and Environment. Where is it? Department of Earth and Environment, Boston University. So even in Boston University, they have Earth and Environment department, and then Department of Earth Science, University of Bristol. And then the Faculdade de Ciências, Universidade de Lisboa from Portugal, and the Faculty of Mathematics and Physics from Charles University from Czech Republic, and then the last one is from Oxford, from Department of Earth and Sciences, University of Oxford, UK. Okay, for those of you who are interested in a topic related to seismology or seismic wave in general, you can choose for this topic compared to the other geoscience topic that were related to the Earth magnetic field, to the Earth core as a water reservoir and subsidence and carbon emissions in peatlands. Peatlands is a, what we call in Indonesia is daerah gambut. Okay, peatlands is the translation for. Okay, so we have four. So we have one title related to the SARS-CoV virus infections, 4 papers related to the earth science or physics of earth topics, and the 6th title here is related to the human information processing in complex networks. So it's basically related to the complex system physics that is concerning about the how human communicating. Okay, it is written in Nature Physics in 2020, September 2020, where the list of author here is coming out from, well, so they have 1, 2, 3, 4 authors, and 4 authors that is coming out from several institutions. Okay, so the last one, Daniel Bassett, is basically a important people from how many institutions here? 1, 2, 3, 4, from 6 institutions. So he's holding a office. He's holding an office in 6 institutions. So for those of you who are interested in some kind of complex system physics, you can choose this topic. Okay, the 7th topic that you can choose is the universal scaling law rules, explosive growth in human cancers. So it is related to the medical physics, which was written in Nature Physics, published in 2020. The list of authors here is so plenty. And you can see the affiliation of these original authors are basically a multinational people that you can see here. It's coming out from Spain, from Switzerland, from, well, most of them are from Spain. And then I see a French institution like this one. And then from Iran, okay, University of Tehran, and then yeah, most of them are coming from Spain, and then there are 1 or 2 people who are coming from Switzerland, Iran, and also from France. And then the last topic is the accelerating computational modeling and design for high entropy alloys. Is related to the material physics that you can choose as your paper, as your poster presentation. This one is written by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 authors, and their affiliation is coming out from Iowa, and then from Iowa State. Okay, so one is from mechanical engineering, and then the other one is from Ames Laboratory from Iowa State University, and then mechanical engineering and mechanics from Lehigh University, and then the final one is coming out from, okay, it's still Iowa State University but from material science and engineering. Okay, so you have 8 titles that you can choose for in poster presentation. And then you list your name here, and then okay, so there are people, so we already have people registering for this title. So okay, so please send your registration ID and names as soon as possible to this list, so that you can working on with this title as soon as possible, because obviously reading and understanding paper from Nature is not that easy. Okay, so you have a full month of evaluating and reading this paper, and you may divide your jobs, your task list, so that everybody will have their own contribution with the assignment. Okay, so the requirement for this assignment, okay, I will mention it again here. You need to create a poster file. Okay, you may design your poster in PPT, in PowerPoint, or in Adobe Illustrator or Adobe Photoshop. If you are able to use Adobe or Corel. I will give you some kind of a freedom in what platform you will design your poster. You can use the Microsoft PowerPoint or Adobe Illustrator or Adobe Photoshop or Corel Draw to create your poster, or even any other application to create that. But the final product that you need to send me is only the PDF file. Okay, it's only PDF file. Okay, and then I haven't told you. Okay, I will update the information given here in the EduNext later on about the size of your poster, because I haven't talked about what size that you need to have for this poster. I think in the past I was asking the students to create an A1 size poster, but since I don't have any example here at the moment in my place, because I usually put examples of poster in the office in Ganesha. Because usually when I'm giving a lecture about poster presentation, I usually show the students about the actual size of A1 and A0 size paper. So I don't know whether you are aware of A1 and A4. Sorry, because if we have, okay, so let me show you. If we have a, let's say, if we have some sheet of A4 paper, this one is a typical A4 paper. So A3 paper is basically consists of two A4 paper. So this is A3. And then if I'm going to create A2, then I need to have 4. Okay, I need to have 4 size. I need to have 4 sheet of A4 paper. Okay, I'm kind of struggling here because I'm going to show you about an A2 size paper. Okay, so more or less it's like this one. Okay, more or less it's like this one. So if you have A4 paper in your place, you can have it. Okay, you can arrange it like this one. Okay, so if this is an A4 paper, A3 paper is the twice size of A4, and then if A2 is become 4, and then if A1 it becomes 8, and then A0 it becomes 16. Sheet of A4 paper distributed evenly. Okay, so that is the size of an A0 paper. Usually in the last semester and also the semester before, I'm asking students to create a A1 paper. A poster file that is created in a A1 paper size. But for now, I'm still deliberating myself whether you create a A1 poster or A0 paper. Okay, so for that one, so for the determination of the templates of the poster and also the paper size of your poster will be done in the next meeting, I guess. So if I'm what I basically need to do later on is to post an update in the poster presentation guideline here about the size and also the templates that you need to work on. Okay, so later on I will update the information about the size and the template for your poster given here in the poster presentation guidelines. Okay, remember in week 12 of your LMS EduNext website. Okay. So first of all, what you need to do is basically to register yourself here in the Google spreadsheet file, and then after all the names listed here, you should start your reading and also start outlining about the key points of that selected topics, and then after that you basically transfer them into a poster design. Okay, so from this information, do you have questions about the assignment? Do you have questions regarding the assignment for your poster presentation? So I remind you again, because I have this, because I have the occurrence in the last semester where due to the miscommunication during online lecture, there is a student who work alone, okay, who work alone in poster presentation because he's not communicating with the other member. Okay, so I need you to communicate often with the names here, because after you fill in, after you filling all the after you filling your name into the spreadsheet over here, you need to communicate with the rest of your group member, and then to decide which part you will study and you will take notes for your poster presentation. Okay, so you need to working in groups for this assignment, and I'm asking you to work in groups because the selected paper that you need to read, that you need to look for information here is a advanced paper that was published recently, and the topic itself is a very cutting edge topic from the respected fields, whether it's from earth physics, complex system physics, material physics, and biophysics and medical physics. Okay, so these are the topics for your poster presentation. Please read them carefully. If you see that the topic is too difficult, you can move to other groups. Okay, you can move to other groups and then ask the permission of the original member of the group if you're going to change, if you're going to move your allegiance to other groups. Okay, please read them carefully, and if you have, and don't forget to look for the dictionary if you found several words that are too technical or too scientific, or too or you are not that common, or you're not that found them normally in your daily life, for example, and then you must refer it to the dictionary or to the technical dictionary. Okay, so let me see. So okay, so I think that is our so I guess that is all of my explanation for today's lecture. I'm going to urge you to encourage you to look for the videos given here, because these videos are basically created by experts in the poster presentation fields. Okay, they will give you some kind of suggestions and also tips and tricks in order for you to have an effective poster presentation or a good design, etc. and so on. How to choose engaging color so that people who are standing 10 meters from your poster will get some kind of a, spark their attention. Okay, how to make your poster lead the attention of people who probably only see you in the glimpse. Okay, so how to design the title, how to design the layout, etc. and so on. Okay, so please refer to this or see this video given here in order for you to have some kind of a knowledge and also some kind of a mental image to develop a certain poster. Unfortunately, I don't have any good poster in my computer because usually I have it on the computer in my office because usually there was the place I'm designing a poster for some occasions. Let me see. Do we have some kind of a poster presentation over here? Or maybe this one. It's a final remark from me. Let me see the example of research poster. Do you have it? Okay, for example, from okay, poster PMP. Okay, so the latest one. Okay. Oh, so this one is coming up from 2000. Oh yeah, this one is the last. Okay, so this poster was written by Pak Alam Tasinarimbun and Pak Wahyu Srigutomo. This one is a progress poster that was presented in the exhibition of LPPM, if I'm not mistaken. Well, this one is too much. Okay, here is another example that is written by Pak Dodi Sutarno, Pak Wahyu Srigutomo, and then Lisa Yaharodiah and Tiffany Chong, who are basically students of Pak Dodi Sutarno. So these are an example here where the poster is presented for the LPPM exhibition that was conducted every December, because December is basically the month where LPPM needs to report their activities to the public. So here, if you're able to see your screen, I guess this poster was created in A0 templates, okay, in A0 paper size. And then it contains the logo of ITB, the logo of FMIPA, and also the logo of the research division. And then the title here, the title itself here is located on the top, written in an orange colored letter, magnetotelluric modeling and inversion base of the vector finite element development and its application for earth study and exploration. And then they have boxes here for the list of authors, and what is what is unnecessary here, in my opinion, is that since 4 of them are coming out from the same institution, the mentioning or the list of institution here for the 4 authors needs. They only, in my opinion, they only need to mention the affiliation ones, okay, because they have it here 4 times for each author here, but the author itself are basically coming from the same institution, right? So this kind of this is in my opinion is kind of redundant. So they could have different approach for designing the names here. For example, Padabi Sutarno, Wahyu Subutomo, and then Lisa and Tiffany in the same order of lines and the same in the same structure of lines, and then the following lines should be telling about their affiliation because 4 of them are coming from the same affiliations. And then the poster is followed by the introductions, the objectives or the aims, and then the methods and results. And since this is a exhibition poster, it needs to include the research output for this topic and also the acknowledgement, okay, for the fund giver of this project. Okay, so one of the important thing for poster and also oral presentation, in the final part of your slide or on the final section of your poster presentation, if you are working, if your work or your activity is funded by some institution or by some means, for example, for some people or etc. and so on, you need to make an acknowledgement for them, telling them about your appreciation for their fund, so that you can conduct this study or conduct this research, etc. So, okay, so it is common thing. It is also and sometimes it becomes required. For example, if one institution who gave you some kind of scholarship or research fund, they need to report. They need to have some kind of a proof that the funds itself is creating output or making outputs in terms of papers or posters. So so by listing or writing the acknowledgement here, that and then you telling them your gratitude to them for the fund that they gave you for your study or for your research, is basically a two-way benefits for yourself and also the institution who gave you funds and scholarship, because they can show your poster as proof for the success of their funds giving, for example. Okay, so these are one example of an exhibition poster. So let me see. Do I have another type of poster before I'm ending my lecture today? Let's see. Assessment electric, PhD. Do I have a no? I don't have it. Okay, so hydrogen physics. Okay, so this one comes. Obviously, it's not here. Let me see. Oh, was it in 2012, if I'm not mistaken? So this is carbonates, etc. and so on. No, not this one. Carbonates, short notes, AGU. Public presentation, defense forum, Modern Petroleum Institute. What is this? So, oh no, this is a presentation. I think I do not have any. Let's see. Instrument version. ARMA. What did I do? What did I do for ARMA? I think it was a presentation. I think it was an oral presentation. Yeah, it's an oral presentation. First comes paper, isn't it? First comes slides. No, first comes. Yeah, I don't have any. I guess it was. I think it was written somewhere, but I do remember that. Oh, here, I think this one, isn't it? Yes. Okay, so this one is this one is an example of a research paper that I did in 2012. Okay, so that's why I'm not getting the appropriate folder. Okay, so this one is printed in A0 paper. Was it in A0? If I'm not, I kind of forgot what the size, because it was presented in the United States and they have different paper size. So what I have here, okay, is a progress report. Okay, is a research progress report or research exhibition related to my dissertation topic. So here is, so this title here, joint version of seismic and electrical data, was presented in the Conference of Earth and Energy Research in Colorado School of Mines. And I have here is the institution of School of Mines, Department of Geophysics, and then the Hydrogeophysics and Porous Media Research Group. And the author itself is myself and my advisor here. And my affiliation is written here in a small fonts over here. And so the template for this presentation is given in a white background templates. And obviously, since I'm not since this is the template that they give, I'm showing them the abstract over here in a very small size fonts, which you may use or not. Okay, you may make them short or not. And then here is the research motivation or the goals, and then this is the equations or the basics of electrical and seismic data that I collect. And then this that I basically computed or simulated. And then this is the fourth modeling that I use. Okay, and then these are the result. And this is the inversion method from the synthetic data in order for me to locate the hydrofracturing events below the second layer. Okay, below this, yeah, inside of the second layer of a certain crust. And then the conclusion, and then further studies and potential application, acknowledgement, and references. Okay, so these are an example of a graduate students or students presentation or students poster presentation that is related to their final project or to their dissertation or thesis or their own research progress. Whilst the other one that I've shown you earlier is related to the promotional or a research activity report from one person or from one institution as basically showing them about the progress of their research on that academic year, for example. Okay, so I guess that's all for today's lecture. I hope that you will able to access all the material in the EduNext for your own work on poster presentation design. Okay, if you have problems related, if you have problems in accessing all of the materials given there in the EduNext, please let me know using MS Teams chat room if you're able to use that. And so I will finish my lecture on poster presentation, and then not Monday, but Tuesday, we will move on to the final part or the final sections or the final materials for a scientific communication class is to teach you how to create or we having a discussion on how to create a CV, statement of purpose and abstract. Okay, so these are the topics for our lecture for next week. Okay, thank you all for attending the class. I will stop the sharing, the screen sharing here, and then I will stop the recording.